And so what happens to that child? She's just left in the rain, like she's like, just fend for yourself. That's gonna go well. That'll go over great. Hello, Halfpint here, and I just wanted to say real quick, if you've been enjoying my content, please remember to subscribe to the channel here on YouTube and follow me on Twitch so you can always catch us when we're live and see more content. Also, if you are new here, welcome in, and if you're enjoying the video, please remember to like it because it helps me out a lot. I also post funny clips and other things on TikTok. All the links are in the description below, and thanks again. Now let's get into the video.
Starting with, we've got two news stories today that really highlight how society tends to punish girls for going through puberty. With the first involving yet another batshit education bill out of Florida. With the legislation there, House Bill 1069, only allowing instruction in acquired immune deficiency syndromes, sexually transmitted diseases, or health education to occur in grades 6 through 12. And a key thing is that would include instruction on menstrual cycles, which to women watching this show might go, that seems like a red flag. Periods can start before 6th grade. And yeah, you'd be right saying that. While the average age for a first period is 12, they can actually start as young as 8 years old. Meaning there have been, are, and will be girls dealing with periods in elementary school. And so
I have heard that some of the cases of gender affirming care oftentimes will come into, like, there are times when a woman or a girl will have her period like very young, and so they'll recommend to put the girl on puberty blockers so she can like kind of go through it normally, like it's an option, or not normally, but hold it off until like it seems some of her peers are also experiencing things. It's something they can do to help children feel a little less awkward growing up, you know? And that's a form of gender affirming care that is being banned in a lot of places. So same with, like, you know, hair transplants and stuff. That's gender affirming care for males.
We have people surprised that this is an actual bill that people are trying to pass. What's not surprising is who is proposing it. Some guy named Stan, specifically Republican Representative Stan McClain. We actually saw Democratic Representative Ashley Gant press him on the consequences of this bill, asking,
so if little girls experience their menstrual cycle in 5th grade or 4th grade, will that prohibit conversations from them since they are in the grade lower than 6th grade?
You're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It would.
With McClain there confirming that even though it is happening.
Wait, no, okay, so what? Okay, what? So what if a child ends up having their period and I don't know a whole lot about the first period or period like in general, but I assume you never see the first one coming. That just seems right to me. Because how would you know? You've never had one before. So now this child is in a position where they are kind of at the mercy of adults around them and like looking to the women around them to help them with this experience they're now going through all of a sudden. And this is a law where like this child would say like, I'm having my period, you know, I need help. I don't know what to do or what's going on. It's probably really scary. And that woman can't legally actually help the child, even though she is like the best equipped to help this child, probably. Like, that's so fucked. And so what happens to that child? She's just left in the rain, like she's like, just fend for yourself. That's gonna go well. That'll go over great.
Happening in their bodies, their school would not allow instruction on it. Which is why during the debate on this bill, Gant just laid out how horrific a situation that puts these young girls in.
Imagine a little girl in 4th grade going to the bathroom and finding blood in her panties and thinking that she is dying. This is a reality for little girls in school. So she doesn't actually know what's going on. And her teacher does not even have the ability to tell her that this is a part of life, because she's in the 4th grade. But that doesn't stop her from
imagine her teacher having to say like, tell your mom about it when you get home, and she has to somehow focus on school the entire rest of the day. Like, ideally they would still at least send her to the nurse to get like cleaned up and get new pants, you know, like borrow underwear or something. I don't know, like maybe they probably have packages or something, but like past that, this child is supposed to just somehow not freak out for the rest of the day and just bring it up with mom when she gets home. Are you kidding me? That's just so broken. We send children to school to learn about things, and now we're like, we can't teach them anything.
Being the victim of some predator and then impregnating this little girl. This is reality.
Right, because not everyone has a parent to tell them about these things. Maybe they're in foster care. Maybe their parents are busy or just haven't gotten around to it yet. Or maybe for a mom, it happened when they were 12. They're not even thinking about it yet. But with all that said, for his part, Stan said the intent behind the bill is not to make it so teachers fear punishment if they explain to the student who needs help, adding that he's amenable in some of the bill's language. But words that are not signed on a legal document are just words. It remains unclear what and how much you'd actually be willing to change, especially because the bill so far has passed a vote in the House Education Quality Subcommittee.
How could they possibly not fear what would happen if you're talking about making something illegal, and with everything else that's going on, all the other things that they're pulling from school shelves? How could they possibly not hold fear of the reprimanding that would come should they adequately take care of one of their students in need?
By a 13-5 vote, largely along party lines. And the thing is, educating a child about what's going to happen to them, I think, is incredibly important, because they're going to learn one way or the other. If it's not a parent, if it's not a professional at a school, it's going to be something like fucking TikTok.
Exactly.
And while, yeah, there are professionals speaking on these platforms, there's also a lot of fucking people that are not qualified in anything that get millions.
Exactly. Every good, solid source of information we can provide to children in their lives, first person, the better. The more formulating that experience, the more the more chances it has of being like a core memory, and the more chances it has to actually like make sure a person is set on the right path. You know, like, we don't have to like ensure trauma to God knows how many percentages of little girls because they had their period too young and it happened on a school day, which is statistically likely to happen.
Millions of views. Like, I know kids in high school who got pregnant because they thought the pull-out method was 100% safe. You're making it so that learning about your own body is taboo. And this, as going through puberty in our society, can already be an incredibly alienating experience, especially for young girls. Right? It's why in other news, you had people pointing to this interview with Sydney Sweeney, with The Sun doing a profile on her as she's promoting her new collection with Frankie's bikinis. And in it, she says, "I had boobs before other girls and I felt ostracized for it." And following that, we saw people absolutely slamming her in response, saying things like, "Hot girls will find any excuse to complain about something everyone else wants." And with that, you had...
Yeah, no, that's kind of it right there, guys. That's it. What's wrong with boobs? Congrats. To me, they look surprised more than ostracized. Yeah, that's exactly what they're talking about. So imagine you're a child. Imagine you're a little girl, right? And everyone's still little, okay? There's, like, in terms of romance, there's like none, you know, like maybe people hold hands, maybe people kiss. That's about it. You're very young children. You're super innocent, okay? And then you get boobs, which makes other girls mad at you for, you know, reasons that little girls are. And like, you know, just like jealousy or like feeling weird. Everyone's feeling weird because it's a weird time. And then like you have all of a sudden a roaring wave of you being sexualized that starts now. And then it will never end. That's kind of exactly what where the ostracization comes from. You are treated differently by all your peers forever. I literally remember girls talking about this when I was growing up. I remember it being a huge thing. I don't really know what the boy equivalent would be. Maybe like armpit hair or something. I don't know. But like, I'm sure there's an equivalent with like being raised a male, because we're of course talking about a world that raises children in a very binary gender system. And you have people like me who just found ourselves in the middle. Yeah, that's kind of exactly what she was probably referring to, is all this weird fucking behavior that you guys are bringing to the table. People started bringing that to the table to a child at that age. Maybe not this, you know, up front, but like it started.
We had tons of people agreeing, saying she's just complaining about good things, some just sexualizing her, others saying surely she wasn't ostracized by the boys in her school, she must have actually been very popular with them, which then tons of people had to step in and be like,
for a completely different reason that has nothing to do with her as a person, and they don't actually care about her, which could teach a young girl that like, okay, so I'm objectified, I'm not, like, my person doesn't really matter, my personality doesn't really matter, what really matters is these things get me attention, these things matter. That's incredibly, like, how are we even talking about this? That's obviously fucked. Like, And obviously doing that to a child in any capacity, even if it's coming from under children because education isn't great or like things aren't being handled properly, that's going to damage a psyche, obviously.
Like, yeah, that's exactly the issue she's talking about. She's talking about when she was an incredibly young child. You saw a number of women sharing what, I mean, I personally saw when growing up. Girls who developed early saying they were called sluts before they even kissed anyone. Others detailing things like sexual harassment in the school at the age of 11 and dealing with comments that were sexual in nature from classmates, maybe even teachers and their own family members. And some of these women explain it. When your body becomes sexualized as a child, you can start to hate it and blame yourself. It can be honestly awful. But with all that said, on those two stories.
Yeah, no, literally. 100, that's pretty much, yeah, exactly that. But there is this element to the world where as soon as that line's crossed, people will start saying weird stuff like, oh, you need to cover those. Like, 9. I'm 9. Hello? Hello, I'm 9. I don't need, like, no one should be looking at me like that. No one should be entertaining those sort of ideas. Like, it's weird. It's super weird. Like, the idea, I could go on and on about the entire idea of policing what children wear. Like, that is so weird. Like, you can't wear that. That's inappropriate. What's really inappropriate is people eyeballing me in that manner. You know, it's 90 degrees out. If I want to wear shorts, I should be able to wear shorts. It's fucking hot. And if someone can't handle a child wearing shorts around them, I don't think they should be around children at all. How about that? Like, thanks for watching, guys. Follow me on Twitch to join us live. Like and subscribe, and I will catch you later.